Hey, friends. This is Martine Williams, and I am obsessed with all things mompreneur life and helping you to remix your priorities, your habits, your mindsets, and yes, even your relationships so that you can build a successful business without losing yourself in the process. I'm also obsessed with the color turquoise and lyrics of the 80s and 90s, but that's beside the point. Girlfriend, you don't have to hustle 24/7, 365 and continue to sacrifice your health, your relationships, and your sanity to be a successful mompreneur. As a small town girl living in a lonely world to a six-figure mompreneur, I am here to teach you how. There is a better way, and this podcast is your one-stop shop for all of the how-tos, the encouragement, the life hacks, the success tips, and of course, a little side of tough love. This is the Mompreneur Life Remixed podcast. So let's do this. Welcome back, friends, to the Mompreneur Life Remix podcast. If this is your first episode, welcome. So thankful to have you tuning in to this episode today. And if we have not met before, my name is Martine Williams. I am the host of the show, and I am your CEO, which is your Chief Encouragement Officer. You can 100% expect to receive encouragement, inspiration, motivation by listening to this podcast. And currently, we are going through a series to help social sellers, network marketers, direct sellers, whatever the title is that you want to carry in the online business space, but specific to direct selling industry. We are going through a series just to kind of help you, as someone who used to be in direct selling knows this is the busiest time of year. This is the opportunity to grow your business, to grow your income, to grow your team. And so I wanted to just spend some time talking about that over the next few episodes. So last week I talked about being a sponsoring superhero, and we're going to continue this conversation on sponsoring because it is a really important part of your business. And maybe you're listening to this and you just got started with your business and you're thinking that sounds scary, or I'm nervous, or I'm afraid. We're going to go into all of those details. So most of you know my story if you followed the podcast from day one, but if not, so I started my business in 2006. I grew it to be a very successful six-figure earner, top income earner in the company, the top level leader as a national executive director with 31 gifts. But what you probably don't know about me is that I spent the first 2 years of that business not sharing the opportunity with anyone. Like I didn't actively sponsor because I was afraid of being that pushy person. And honestly, I didn't see the big picture either of how sponsoring was the key to building a team and achieving the goals that I had. And it wasn't really until I heard Jenny Hillenberg, who was the very first consultant with 31, to share how she had just purchased her husband a car in cash. And I'm like, this is like stuff you see on TV, this stuff you see in the movies. This isn't real. And so I was just blown away by that because I kind of knew Jenny. We weren't really close at that time. We're great friends now. But I remember thinking, if she can do it, I can do it. Like, she's just like me. And so that was really where I caught the vision for what my business could be. And I knew that at that time, it was something that I can do. And I remember my coach at the time asking me in one of our very first coaching calls, she was like, so tell me about your sponsoring. And it was kind of silent on the other end because I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not something I do. That's for those people, those kind of people, the spammy, weird people. They do those kind of things. And so between my conversation with her and seeing, Jenny and what all she was able to do was really what helped me to kind of change my perspective and really start seeing what sponsoring truly is. So, I came into the business. I had no sales experience. I was a B2C student at best in my school years, and I had to repeat theater and speech twice in college, which is really interesting now, right? Considering that I'm a national speaker, I have my own podcast, I'm doing video stuff all the time. Like, I'm not afraid at all to speak in front of people because usually if I am speaking, I have something to say, right? That I know is going to help you. But that was me in 2006. And I had a real fear of speaking in front of people. And I'd never been to a party I had never seen the product before my kit arrived on my doorstep. And I didn't really have any support in my area because I was one of the first ones in South Carolina. So I say all that to let you know that whether this is like week one of your business and you just became a consultant with your company, or this is like year 5 or 10 and you've just kind of lost your mojo with sponsoring, I just want to share that with you because if I could do that, then I know that you can do it as well. But it does start with our mindsets and our attitudes. And we talked a little bit about that in the last episode, but I want you to hear that some people will never be where they want to be because they complain about where they are today. Some people will never be where they want to be because they complain about where they are today. And so much of this business is our attitudes. Your attitude and your potential go hand in hand. My attitude and my potential go hand in hand. And I believe that my attitude and my work ethic that was really developed by both of my parents early on in my childhood is what brought me to the success that I enjoyed in my previous company, but also enjoying today, because having an online business, being a mompreneur, it's not always easy. It can be a very simple business plan. And I do believe direct selling and network marketing is a great place to start if you're trying to start your own business, because they kind of give you the framework and the templates and all of those things. You're not having to do your own marketing and your own product innovation and those kinds of things. So it's not always easy, but it is very, very simple. And it's not just, my success was not just because I got in at the right time. Like, how many of you have heard that? Well, you got in right when the company started, or you got in. No, it's getting in and getting to work. That's the difference maker, because you probably know it. I've come across people that, had started way before me, and they just did not get in and get to work. They got in and expected things to be handed to them. And so that's an attitude and a mindset that we have to have is, to take 100% responsibility, to go after your dreams, to maybe do things that, being the first to do some of the things in the business as this industry continues to change, and how you share your business opportunity, how you sell your product, how you, show up and build your own brand for your business. It's ever changing. And so having the mindset and the attitude that you're going to do whatever it takes because your goals and your dreams are really big is the difference maker. All successful people have positive attitude traits of determination, self-discipline, and they know what they want and they're willing to do the work to get it. We all start with the same kit, right? So if you're in direct selling, whatever company you're with, everybody kind of starts with like their kit, right? Their demo kit, or they're called multiple different things, but it's what we choose to do with it from there that separates the winners from the wishers. Again, sitting in your box, in your office, sitting behind your computer and not doing anything with that kit is not going to give you what you want out of your business this fall.
Do you enjoy this podcast and you're wondering how you can start your own? Well, you're in luck. We help entrepreneurs launch their podcast in 4 weeks. My name is Haley Murch, and my team and I manage this podcast. I'm a podcast expert who specializes in helping entrepreneurs launch their podcasts. Podcasts are a great way to expand your audience, provide a free resource for your audience, and to grow and monetize your business. We have openings this fall to help entrepreneurs start their podcasts. We would love to help you achieve this goal before the end of the year. Don't keep waiting. The podcast world needs your voice. We also offer support after the launch process to help maintain your podcast, and we do provide other services to current podcasters. If any of this sounds like something you want to do and need support with your podcast journey, please contact me at hello@haleymerch.com, HAILIMURCH.com, or see the links in the show notes to book a call. We cannot wait to help you start your podcast.
So Zig Ziglar, he's one of my favorite. He says, I believe success is achieved by ordinary people with extraordinary determination. And so maybe you're listening to this podcast today and you may lack that belief and confidence in yourself and the ability to be successful. Those who have been successful have the skills now because they learned the skills. No one was born a successful direct seller or born a successful network marketer, right? We all have different ways of building our business and unique gifts and skill sets that help us to be that successful consultant leader within our company. And it's something that I'm super passionate about. And you're going to be hearing more about how to illuminate those strengths and to be able to use those strengths to build a business that works for you, as opposed to just following what everyone else is doing or just following your upline, because God created us all unique with unique abilities and skill sets and personality traits. And so I'm not going to go into that today, but you'll want to stay tuned to the podcast and to my social media, because there's some big things coming down the pipeline. But in this episode, I may be asking you to do some things that maybe, you haven't done before, or maybe you haven't thought that way about your business. But if you choose to do them, if you choose to shift your perspective on what sponsoring is, and you're going to find success. I know you will. This, again, was one of the number one sought after trainings and calls within my company. I mean, people loved this training. It really helped them to see their business and sponsoring through a different light. And I share this information not because it's something that I came up with. Some of the quotes and things that I built into it are for sure mine. But this was the stuff that I was taught. This is the stuff that helped me to finally catch the vision, and it was stuff that my coach shared with me. So you'll hear me talk about her later. But Jim Rohn says you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. You can change your mindset and shift your perspective on your business. If we are responsible for where we are, then we can be responsible for where we are going. And that is from Andy Andrews, The Traveler's Gift, one of my favorite books. You definitely want to check out that book if you have not read it. I tend to gift it to people too. It's a quick read. I'm not a fast reader, but I read it in like one day. It's so good. Okay, so the most important thing to have when sponsoring is passion. You have to truly believe in what you are doing and know why you're doing it. Like, why are you a consultant for your company? You cannot sell something you yourself don't believe in. So maybe that's the first thing you need to do when you get off this podcast is take, a few minutes and write down all the reasons why or how this business has changed your life for the better. Maybe you need to be reminded of that. For some of you, you may not be in this business to climb the career path. I said this in the last episode, to go all the way to the top, but you do want to help and serve others. And by being that sponsoring superhero is just that. So don't just think of sponsoring as a way to build your income. It is, but it is so much more. When I was in the business, some came onto my team just to pay off debt. Some came in because they moved into a new home, they wanted to buy furniture, and then they left after that. Some came in to make a little extra money, and along the way found a dream and went on to earn a six-figure income. That's kind of my story. And even if you just simply help eliminate a debt or relieve a financial pressure at home, you may never know what that has meant to someone else. Financial pressure is the number one cause of divorce. So imagine if you played a part in saving a marriage. Imagine if you were the one who helped someone provide private school for their daughter, or how would that impact that child? Imagine if you were able to help someone provide college education for their son. Would that change that child's future forever? Imagine that you help someone buy their dream home. How would that feel for both of you to be a part of that success story? I want you to know that it's never about the money. It's what the money will do. My coach, Sherry McAllister, said that all the time. It's never about the money. It's about what the money will do. And it may just be allowing a stressed out mom an opportunity to get out of the house for a much needed break. The list really can go on and on. I'm sure if you're in the industry, you could send me a DM and let me know what the business has done for you. But it really is a gift. Sharing the opportunity is a gift that you could really bless somebody with. And it's a gift that keeps on giving. And that is what a real life superhero looks like. So I hope that this will encourage you to, again, look at sponsoring from a different light. But it does start with you. And if you're not passionate about it, then no matter what I say after this is going to matter to you. So you need to stop and really think about, okay, am I passionate about this? And if I'm not, why? It's okay. We've all had those, lulls in our business where we just we're not that into it, right? And we've lost our passion. This is where your accountability partner comes into place. This is where your peers, your mentor, your coach comes into play to really help you, because we all go through this. No matter what industry you're in, we all kind of go through where we've lost a little bit of that love and feeling for our businesses. And so it's helpful to have someone on your side that can remind you of that. But you cannot share something and sell something that you yourself don't believe in. So Jane Duber says true success in sponsoring comes when you see the process as an opportunity to connect and serve rather than an obligation to share and convince. So what are some other reasons why we would want to sponsor? Why would you want to sponsor this fall selling season? Number one, it is the only way to promote. Most direct sell companies, network marketing companies that I know, that's the only way to promote is to build a team. Cash bonuses. Some companies offer cash bonuses. You may get some extra or exclusive training from home office. Be a part of like leadership councils or boards or things that are specific to those who are building a team. Incentive trips. I loved my incentive trips. Went to some amazing places because I shared the opportunity with others and brought them with me. Maybe it's just to build your own confidence and self-esteem, right? Maybe it's because you love leading and influencing others. Influencer is a huge word out there, and we are influencing people all the time. Is it good or is it bad? That just depends on how you decide to show up in your business and on your social media and with your teams. Maybe it's making friendships that'll last a lifetime is the reason why you'd want to sponsor. Again, it may not be about the money for you. When I first joined, or the reason I started my business, is because I needed to have more women in my life. I wanted relationships like with women in my life and friends that had moved away. You know, I just didn't have a lot of those connections, and my husband did. And remember, he had all those hobbies and I had nothing. And so maybe that's why you are sponsoring, because you want to bring people in to bring friendships in. Some of my best friends are still those from my days at 31 Gives. Being a part of an elite group. Maybe you want to be at the top of the top, right? And be a part of that elite group that has influence on the company's decisions or upcoming products. Maybe that's just really important to you. And maybe it's just being recognized. You know, it's really kind of sad how little encouragement we receive every day. Like last time I checked, when I walk in the door, my kids aren't going, "Yay, great job, Mom. Thanks for doing that laundry." They're just not doing that. And in the direct sales industry, it's an amazing opportunity to be recognized for who you are and the impact that you're having on others. Sometimes it can lead to identity crisis. So I will just say, you know, try not to let yourself get so wrapped up in the recognition that you forget who you are and whose you are. And then your title and your success is not defined by your productivity, your promotions, the trips you earn, all of that. That's probably a whole other podcast. So I'm not going to go into that. But those are all of the reasons why you would want to sponsor. Because let's just say you make a sale today. That's going to get you money for today, right? You're going to earn a commission on that. Sponsoring gets you money for tomorrow. Building a team gets you money for a lifetime. That's where that compound growth comes in, that residual income comes from. So if that is your goal, sister, I'm telling you, sponsoring and leader promotions is the only way to do that. And I remember hearing that for the very first time at a conference. This is back in 2008 when I first met my coach. And that was kind of how she opened up the session. I thought, well, okay. So if that is what I want to do, then if that's where I want to go, then these are the things that I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to step out of my comfort zone. I'm going to have to talk more about the business opportunity. And I'm so thankful for meeting her and having my own mindset shift in the business. Well, that's a wrap, friends, for this week's episode of the Mompreneur Life Remixed podcast. Thank you so much for listening and for following the show. It means so much to me. And listen, friend, sharing is caring. So if you loved this episode and thought of some fellow mompreneurs who could benefit, send them the link. Share this episode or take a screenshot and head on over to Instagram and share and tag me at Martine31Williams. We are connected on Instagram, right? It's where you will get all the fun behind the scenes of my life and business as a mompreneur. Until next time, know that I am believing in you always.